Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe, and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic Season 4. And bankruptcy is upon me. There are a lot of problems in here, and usually I fix your republics. Maybe I can fix my own. Or is it too late already? Great to see you. We are paused, very clearly, and there's a reason. We have problems. It's just very simple. 40,000 people, that's nice, but I only have 10% unemployed. That's actually not a good thing. I need more people unemployed, otherwise it's just bad. Bad stuff is happening. What is the real problem? The real problem is that our happiness is at 64%. And I looked, this city, Kavanoskov, is emptying out. It's a lot of half-full buildings, and a lot of them had no food and other problems. And that's not helping. I filled up the big buildings in the middle here, moved all of them from our current capital, Strukharov, but it's not good. It's not good at all. This is really the problem. We're out of food. Completely out of food. We're out of food because we don't have a way to get enough people in here. And there have been different reasons for running out of food at different times. One of the big ones is this thing, this junction intersection nonsense is always clogged up for different reasons. Right now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe count that one, 7, 8. We'll leave this one out. Maybe 8 trains. 8 trains there. 9. This one is here too. There are 9 trains currently doing stuff. And just nothing is moving, which means there's barely ever a passenger train actually making it here, which means we don't have a lot of population getting into this area, which means these don't run full very often. And how much food do we actually require? Well, let's figure it out. Economy, vehicles, farm manpower, what is this? Production, is this one? Yeah, domestic. Overall production, cool. Industry, yes. Thank you. Come on, industry. How much are we consuming? Highest quantity, maybe. Power? Yeah, makes sense. We're producing some. And then where's my food? My food not even on page 1. Oh, I don't know if you can tell, but I never use this. Food, 188 tons per month. No, this is in June. Just do the last month. This one. 300 tons of food is what we're consuming a month. How much can we produce? What's our max? Well, 20 times 30. Technically, this should be able to produce 600 tons of food, just on average. But it runs so little that we're not producing that much. So these warehouses are effectively empty. So if I just get these filled up, if I get one of these filled up all the time, we would produce enough. But I'm not even getting there yet. So there's our consumption, 303 tons. What is our production, you ask? Consumption of resources, consumption of manpower, production, overall. How much food are we producing last month? 20 tons. And that's your problem. 180 tons difference in supply versus demand. Yeah, that can't do anything. Overall, we're probably doing okay on food. No, 500 for this whole year. No, it's not good enough. We need a lot more. I really love the screen. I don't use it often enough. I don't give it enough credit, but it's there. And if you don't know what the problems are, this is a great place to go to. So what we need is more people showing up to work at the food factories. How are we going to do that? Well, we have a semi-shortcut from here, go through all of this stuff to get straight to the food factories. The problem is if we get in here, we have to go all the way around the industrial zone over here to get to these guys. That's not going to happen. Simply, oh, there's another one. 10 trains. There's 10 trains currently cooking here. That's just a lot. So that's the problem. Where do we have the most people sitting around? Well, I can tell you that it's here. We will always have a lot of people, and this city is effectively overflowing with workers, and that is great. So what we need to do is actually use them. This guy moves 330 people, 350 people to the oil district, which is not a bad thing, you may say. We also have some chemicals sitting around there. We actually have a lot of resources here. So this is something we can try to export more. The problem with that is that the The border house is often, very often, not always, very, very full. So it looks like we could add a couple more fuel trains. It looks like we have a couple wagons sitting here. Where are you? You are driving somewhere. I'm just looking at the speed. It's moving. That's all I need to know. You're moving, and you are not moving. Where are you? You are currently here. Why aren't you going exporting some fuel? I wonder if we have a problem with... Nope. Nope. You're just not moving. Why are you not moving? So that's the other thing. We need money too. We need food, but we also need money, and I would like money so I can buy a bigger train so we can actually make more passengers go to where the food is. Very important. That's the last loader, customs house. You're exporting everything. Yeah. Railway, dry bulk, unloading, loading, fuel, load fuel, 80%. I don't need a lot here. Let's just make this really empty. And there you go. There's a train going, and it looks like we have at least 4 wagons sitting there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wagon capacity. Actually, there's enough wagons, so all I have to do is add 1 more train, and then we should be in business. Diesel loco. Speed would be nice, but no, I can't afford any of these. I need them for something else. So I hope this train, whatever you're picking up, bitumen, very good, is going to make us some money. Very cool. That should bring a little more money in. That's a good start. The other thing for money I think that we can do is look at our export here. And I'm getting to the point where I forget what the rail distribution office is actually moving around. But logging camp, yes, you can do something there. Where is my steel? Okay, oh, that's just unloading bricks. Where is... I want to look at the mechanical components because they need to be exported for sure. We're still paused. I am not trying to mess with that. 891, that's really not a lot. Also means we just don't get a lot of people, enough people here because we don't have that many people in that city anymore. So I guess mechanical components is not a real option. Food is what we really, really need, so we have to concentrate on that. See what we can do here. There's a wagon and a wagon, but nothing exciting. Fine. Give me some locos that I can actually utilize for this. 100, it's not the greatest. I would like a diesel, but look at these. I'm breathing a little heavy because this is cheating, but I do need this train to go as fast as... It's cheating just because it's really fast and it's really cheap, but I'm going to go with that. I actually would like 2 of them if I could, but right now I can't really afford that. So there you go with that one. Total capacity is what I want on this one, and I'm using this one in a couple places already. 340, that's a great size that I want to use. So give me that one just to get started, and then we're obviously out of money. That's not a good thing, but I'm going to try to reutilize some of the other trains that I already have. Have that one go there, then have you go through here and then go straight. You are not going to unload anyone. Then go straight to this drop-off. That's all I want you to do. You can get going, and you should get me some passengers moving already. How are we doing on vehicles here? That's fine. A couple vehicles that I could just sell, but I really don't want to. I would like this one. No, I want you to continue in the oil district because oil is a really good export with bitumen, especially if we can keep it really full. Plus, there is a power plant there that I also want to run. So we're just going to keep this one happy. Do what you do, and 353 people should have no problem getting unloaded here because 500 is max, so that one can keep going. Do I have any other train? Well, if you followed me earlier when I was talking, I was saying that there's way too many trains in this general area. And that's not good. There's 230 people going that way. What are they doing? Oh, this is not even full yet. That's interesting. I expected this to be full, and I was just going to use that train to move things around, but that train, or that sector is not full, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, I have an idea. 2,000. We bought something. Also, electronics are killing us. Killing us pretty bad. Food hub, distribution, yeah, that's fine. I would like to see which of these locomotives I can move around. What's the max speed? 150. I would like you to go here, and I would like you to also go here. You can probably tell that a lot of my trains... Aw, to tell you something weird. Just go home first and then go to the thing. Whatever. There you go. Turn around. Turn around. Go home. Just go on. There's a lot of trains sitting there not doing anything, and that's what I should utilize. Come on, get in there. Just a little more. There you go. Great. Okay, now I can make you trains attached wagons. Where are you? What? Get out. I think that was a problem that the Seraph was mentioning earlier, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't really want you to move those wagons, but it's okay. You, I need you to move yesterday, please. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We have a little bit of money in the bank, and that is nice. We're just going to speed this up. There you go. It's on a slingshot. It's just going to go. Cool. How much money are you going to make me? Why? Why didn't you load bitumen already? Oh, you have to go all the way around. Oh, that's a clear oversight of mine. This distribution office over here is trying to get to this spot, but this spot is obviously not in a really easy way to turn around there and get anywhere. So it has to go all the way down here to actually turn around. That's not very helpful. Anyways, let's move these wagons around. Then take out a loan, because that's all I can do at this point. Money-wise, loan ruble, yes. Long thing. I don't want to take out too much. 500,000 should get me over the hump for now, because don't forget, I already did that money switch, divide by 1,000. So everything is a lot more expensive than it seems at this point. Okay, so that one can do this. That's good. Where's my special train? Did you make it out here yet? Are you currently... Different one. That's my special train. No. You have 3 wagons. You don't have just 2 wagons. Where's my special train with 2 wagons? Oh, you have to go a long distance around somewhere. Not that one. I should have just clicked on it earlier. There he is. There's my special train. You have to go circle around here before you can even go backwards. Makes sense, but there you go. I need this one to... Go away. This one to go here. And you to just go. There's the next one. Very nice. I may actually go ahead and buy another train to put another cargo train in there, but for right now I just need all the passengers to go out to that area and just start producing. What I need, passenger capacity 1, 2. Yes, and it's this one. Yes, it is. Assign you to this, and then just go. Very good. Awesome. Then give me... How are we doing here? Office task wagons. Yeah, I think we're still full on wagons, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm pretty sure that we are. Anyways, that's something we can figure out down the road. Cool. So we should have some money coming in now. No, not money. We should have some food coming in now, which is more important than money at this point in time. Food is 0. Effectively, nobody is working there. We have some food here that is nice. How much food do we have here? Effectively none. That's less than a truckload full. That's not going to be enough. I can promise you that. Is that the train? Where are you? Oh, you're getting fuel. You just started. Okay. Obviously, there's no line spacing yet with trains. I do think for 79 workers, that's cute. 128 workers, that's better. Effectively nobody. Yeah, whatever. The more you get in there, the better. We're out of food now. That's gonna be bad. This could be the end. Yes, I can use money to import more food and all that stuff, but it's not. I don't know. It's starting to feel like I've made so many mistakes. I've made a lot of tests. I tried a lot of different things. Things that I knew didn't work before, but I wanted to see if they work with the new mechanics, if there's something new that I haven't tried before that I should do. But then there are also things that I definitely knew were not going to work. I still did it because I was lazy or I forgot it at that point, and the The rail connection up here is one of them. There's just not enough room for all the traffic that I want to run on there, and it's a big problem that we're having right now. But here we are. So food is really the thing that we care about. 70 workers, barely half full. Barely half full all the time will produce enough output for us to do what we need to do, but we need a lot more. And then we need, wow, we just spent 100,000 on something. I don't even know what, but we did in June, 285,000. Oh, jeez. Okay, drop off some people, and hopefully that looks good. That looks good. Yeah, more people, more people, more people. We should have more export. This one is another one, the alumina plant, where I would love it if we see more production, because this is a really good export. The aluminum oxide is great money maker, but we can't have everything. At least these are running full now, which means this. Why aren't you? Hold up. I don't know if you could tell, but I was very confused at what was going on there. Get this train out of here so we can fill up the thing. That's a capital train that's supposed to just fill up the food by itself. And 160 tons is a lot better than nothing, and I don't need to wait until it's completely full now. But I hope those couple trains that we're running now will help. Our happiness is going up right now, but this is not a guarantee. Our unemployment is still relatively low, and this number is still slightly shrinking. Yes, we could totally set it to citizen happiness reactions to the other stuff, but I'm not looking forward to that. Here's the thing. I am slowly but certainly losing the motivation for the season. I'm already there. I'm already starting the cosmonaut play, or cosmonaut mode for the new branch, for the new stuff, and I'm very excited to get into that. And I think I have enough to get started. So here's what we're gonna do. This will be the last episode. I hope that I fix the whole country, the whole republic, and this episode will release about a week before we do a new start of the new season. Usually I do a end of season. No, I'm still going to do an end of season either video or live stream. I don't know which one. Maybe pick one or another. About a week after this thing is over. And probably talk about all the problems that I encountered that I needed to fix differently and that I tried out, being unsure if that's going to be the right thing to do. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think we have some production that we can't export, but we just don't have enough. See, gravel here, we're doing something with it, and that's nice. But it's not enough. I would really love turning this whole thing on, because we have so much. We have a lot of bauxite sitting here. We have a lot of coal sitting here. We have a lot of everything just sitting here that we could export with a really nice big tanker. But to get that, I only have two options. Either I finish this city, which I would really like to do because I like the location, but to finish this city is probably going to take 3 more episodes, at least. And at 1 episode a week, that's not worth it. Then there's this stuff over here, construction office. Yes, it's nice, it's necessary. I like what we did here, but it's kind of done and over with. We don't need more than what we had. So yeah, no, I think that feels good. So what are we going to do for the rest of the episode today? Figure out if stuff works? I mean, that would be a good thing, right? That's not a bad thing necessarily, but yeah, we're just going to see what our numbers do. Actually, did you just go up a little bit? I think you did go up a little bit. You went up too. Yeah. A little shocker, huh? Did this fix it? Let me run it for just a little bit and see how it goes. I'm going to take everything I just said back. It's not working. Happiness is lower than before, and population, because of that, is going down, and we have just a lot of other problems. So I'm just going to do the thing right now, where I talk about all the things that went wrong and why this season is failing. I actually like that this is failing. The first one out of 4 that's failing for this channel, which, hey, this is a complicated game, and Water Update was released in the middle of the season. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't think it had a lot to do with it. let's just get started. All the things that went wrong in season 4. Last episode. Yes. So, beginning town. What went well here? What didn't go well? Honestly, there's not much that went wrong. Most of these are pretty full now. As you can see, there's not a lot of complaining going on for most of these people. So this city is 100% working the way it works right now. The problem was the prison that I had initially wasn't big enough. Actually, right now we have a lot more problems going on. But the prison that we had initially wasn't big enough, and it was because the stuff that goes on here on these numbers were all negative. They were not helping my republic, and that was just causing issues for crime and justice. It was a thing I tried in the beginning because I didn't know any better. Now I know better. What you want to do is keep your loyalty high. You keep your loyalty high, you need the radio station. Without the radio station, you're not going to get very far. So you need that high. You need your general secret services or secret police, and you need your monuments in places so that your people can actually get what they need. But yeah, now other than that, this city is actually still working really, really well. You can start playing with these, allow citizens to only move in for certain buildings. That could help your loyalty also in general. But yeah, overall, this is going just fine. And I don't have a lot of problems with what's going on here. What's the next thing? This grain, corn to start with is totally worth it. We started with the carriages. What year did we start? 1940, 1945? I honestly don't remember. But we started early where we didn't have many cars. It was neat, but really all that does is slow your early game down, and all you're trying to do is get to the car phase as fast as you can. And that can't be the whole point of starting early. So, not sure that I would want to do that again. But it was a cool experiment, and it's neat. It's cool. It's neat. It's great. That worked. This area over here actually worked really well. This heating plant seemed to be just in the right distance from the city, which let's actually check what that distance is. From about there to about here, it's just about 500 meters. But overall, the health in this city is high. So 500 meters seems to be fine. Don't have to go bigger than that. So that's good to know for the next ones, because sometimes it feels like you need 1,000 meters away, but in this case, it seems to go just fine because 92 health is as good as you're gonna get it. So that's nice. Cool. Then we expanded here. I tried to do gravel later than I usually did, and well, it wasn't totally worth it. You could have done it earlier. You could have just waited on it longer. It's gravel. It doesn't make you a lot of money, and it was necessary because I wanted to get my roads upgraded. But you will see in season 5, I will do things a little different than this. But it's fine. The rail distribution office, great addition to the game. Super fun, super great. Why are all of these? Everything's broken. Great. That could be a reason why things are not working very well, but yeah, rail distribution office is fun. I did not set it up correctly. This rail distribution office is in a terrible, terrible location because I'm exporting mostly everything. I'm not importing anything. This one is in a great location to import because you always want your distribution offices close to the source, not close to the destination. This one is just in a terrible spot because it runs twice the distance that it has to even do something, and then it clogs up going out, and it clogs up going in, and overall it's just not going well. This rail setup, I think one thing to take away from here is do not build too close to the customs house. I do not feel like there would have been much more space. There would have been maybe space up here for a city to get started instead of right next to the customs house, but overall, because I have the city right here and the farms and just a lot of infrastructure already, it wasn't easy to put a rail yard here that's actually effective. The rail yard that I have here is okay, but I think it would have helped to have it a little longer, just because right now I'm running trains of all lengths to get in here because I can't really run those super long trains. I would prefer running really long trains, so less trains at a time, but bigger payoffs each time. This is a full-length train, and you fit in. I don't know what the logic is there. It's not a bad rail yard. It's just really cramped, and it's not super helpful. And Yeah, could be better. Could be a lot better. Cool. This area is pretty self-explanatory. Works fine. Was a pretty good investment right at the beginning, and we have boards and wood now, and we had that for a long time, so that is yeehaw, super great. I did plan part of this capital city at the beginning, and then yeah, just never capitalized on that. But as you can see, our happiness is actually recovering a little bit. I think we can recover, but it's going to take me a long time, and I have plans for season 5, so I don't really want to get into this too much. For all the Patreons and all the YouTube members, I will post the save after this episode on the respective sites, so you can try it out, and maybe you can beat it. Maybe you can send it to me for a review and let me see what you've done with the place. But for right now, I think I'm wrapping up here. I don't know how long this was. It felt like the longest running season, not the most episodes though. Yeah, but that's fine. Where did we go next? I know. Oh, this guy does not work. it's the main thing here. It didn't work mostly because I had problems with policing, with crime, with things that were related to this criminality. So every time I had people coming in these cities, we had just a lot of unhappy citizens. Now these are relatively full because we ran on easy for a little while, and this is probably still leftover from that. But as you can see, happiness is not great. These will move out. I do have loyalty set up really high, which I think that's also helping to keep people here. I think that was Yahtzee that made that comment, gave me that comment in a Discord session, to say that I can fix it that way. And it looks like it does fix it. If you only allow really high loyal citizens to move in, they will stick around longer. I can't even see what their loyalty is, so there's that. And it works, but overall, the villages leech too many people. Too many people will run away from the village if you don't supply everything right away. Which I think brings us down here. The oil that we have in this area, I'm very surprised that it's enough to produce how much as we have been producing. I did not think that. How many pumps do we have here? Maybe 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, I was right. Did not think 10 pumps that are not at 100% efficiency, any of them, 33% is nothing, are producing enough oil. We're producing enough oil to keep this republic running. It's obviously not enough, but we're also burning some. But these, well, the refinery is not full, but the gas power plant is at least full. So yeah, no, 10 is not enough, but I think the plan was initially to expand to other oil fields. Actually, there are oil fields right down here in Pohadas. I can't say it. Over there are some oil fields that I could bring in here and dump right into the loader, and that would have worked. But well, I'm not going to do that because we don't have to. But yeah, we do have enough available for Whole Republic to do its thing. What should I have done different here? Honestly, don't hate this setup. This setup for oil is actually pretty neat. The only problem is, as you saw, that the bitumen is on the way out for the distribution office, and there's no good way to turn around for the DO. If this would be a full butterfly junction, there would be just a turnaround spot right here. That would have worked. But since I don't have that, I should have just put both of these on the exit instead of the entrance, or put the distribution office that I have over here closer to the entrance potentially. Maybe right here would have been a really good spot, or next to right here, so they can get to the place where they want to go to right away. Chemicals are fine. I don't hate the chemical setup that we have here. It's producing a lot more than we need, and apparently I'm not moving enough truckies around. What is your problem? You should be unload. Wait until unloaded. We have 3.9 tons. Oh, there's 240 tons in there. Got it. But nobody's picking up from here. So we could probably set up one train. Where's my chemical train? Just to get a little more money right now. I know it's not really necessary anymore, but why not? Yeah, my chemical train. You go from here to border post, and then you're fine. And there's good money in here. It's like, well, 55,000 is a lot for the current playthrough. So do that. Do this, stop this. There you go. Sargart Warehouse 2. I hope that is this one. Nope, that's Sargart Warehouse 1. Anyone go in here to do anything? Is anyone assigned to you? What's going on here? There's 2 trucks. That's not very helpful. How about you? I don't know why I'm fixing this. I guess I just feel like fixing it. So we're fixing it anyways. I want you to go to this one and then just continue running. So keep both of them full. Great. Now that that's out of the way. Yeah, no, overall, I like this area. Chemicals could be better, but this is working. I do feel chemicals is one of the industries where forklifts are totally advantageous because, as you can see, there's a lot of materials that go into this, and this makes it easy to get everything running. Cool. Farms. I really like this setup. All about it. Just having a central location here, and it's staying relatively full. I do realize that I'm not using all of my crops, and we could export some of them. But just overall, it's working pretty well. I'm actually surprised how well it's working. I do have to redo the ratios, I think, at some point. I just did a playthrough where the starting harvester can only harvest 2 of the large fields, really. I think at some point I thought it was 3. So maybe it's time to redo that. But one of you guys just tells me what the right ratio is now, so I can use it, because the tractors are a little faster than that. Yeah. Cool. This huge experiment, do not repeat this the way that I have it. What is the biggest problem here? I alluded to that at the beginning of the episode. This corridor is the problem. If this station was simply connected to the central station of the city and the main line would go around the city, I don't know how I would enforce that the main line stays out of the city. But if it's just a straight city connection from A to B right here, this would totally work. But because there's so much train traffic that I showed you earlier, these trains always lock up at some point. I even had trains just blocking this junction, and that killed everything multiple times. Not very exciting, not very good. So if you want to do this setup, keep the traffic to passenger trains. However you can manage that. I think it will be a lot easier with the trams that are coming up, because with the tram setup, with the tram thingies, I feel that a lot of this stuff can go away. Excuse me, a lot of this train stuff can go away. And these loading and unloading stations that we have out here, there's no good reason, besides convenience, having everything in the center, to place them closer to the outside of the respective locations. Because, well, you can. You simply can. You just need a little more space. So I think the first thing, if you want to set it up this way, you need to have passenger trains only getting through this corridor. If that's what you do, give yourself a little more room for the different industries. I do realize that this is nice that everything can reach it right from this station, and that is cool. But if something goes wrong, if this thing goes down for whatever reason, you are in real big trouble. And that's bad. That's really bad. I think we're recovering on the money right now, which is not on the money, but on the food right now, which is nice, which is also why our happiness is going up. And our population is not going down as hard. Yeah, it's floating and slowly going up, but that's nice. This city. There's nothing about this city that I don't like. It's built on a slope. It's built complicated, but overall, the people that live here, besides the food right now, don't really have a lot of things that they complain about. And it's a really big city. It's potentially a very big city. Can't see how many are there right now, but I think we had about 15,000 here at some point. And that's a pretty good sized city. And doing that off of 2 malls, 2 shopping centers, and one tram or a couple tram lines feels like a pretty good thing. I never had real problems here, and it was really fun. Just sadly now, because of the food problems that we had for so long, we're running out of workers, and because we run out of workers, we run out of food. So it's a bad combination that's happening, but overall, I really like this city. It was very self-contained. It is mostly in walking range. And I will re-emphasize that the one thing that you need to do to keep your city citizens happy and make your life a little easier is food Meat, clothing, and walking range. Electronics will hurt your happiness a little bit, but won't kill you right away. Actually, food and meat are probably the two that you want to have in walking range regardless. The rest, if you have enough public transport capacity and frequency, you can probably make it work without them. But overall, you need to make sure that the citizens can get to the stores, and if they're going to the stores, you have to make sure that there are enough sellers available and that you can actually serve everyone. But no, overall, this city I don't really have big issues with because everything is kind of working. This station is a little off to the side, but it's still working, as you can see. All the tram traffic just transfers everything here. New functionality, did a test, that works really well. And the trains overall can get everything done that they get done. But then obviously, yeah, because this corridor is so overloaded with trains, it's not working well enough, so it's just really slow. Over here, I don't think there's anything new in this area. It's all working, it's all functional, it's all fine. There's nothing really that we have to complain about in here. It's doing exactly what it needed. It's nice when you put your rail construction in walking range of some buildings. It doesn't have to have a lot of buildings, but if you don't need a bus that goes to the rail construction office, I think you're saving yourself a lot of headache to get things done. That's pretty neat. Okay, and then we expand it into steel. What do we know about steel? That 2 steel mills are more than sufficient. If you do this, and I've done this mistake before, and I wanted to see if I can fix this. I think overall you could counteract the coal shortage that I had here when I had enough people working in steel mills. But because the coal train has to run through the corridor, which I don't want cargo trains to use, that was one of the reasons why things were blocked or backed up a lot. So we didn't have enough coal here. What I'm saying is you use twice as much coal as you need iron. So if you do set up steel mills, you should ship in the iron if you have to, but have the coal available where you are. It's easier. I tried to do a different way, and I think it can work. You just need enough trains on there and enough coal production, which we do have enough coal production up here in this area. There's just no way that I can push enough trains in here to actually get the coal out to where I need it to make this really work. So I think the 2 steel mills should have been here, and some of the other industries should have just moved. And the other industries use a lot less coal. Let's look at this one. You use 22 tons of coal versus 210 tons of gravel. Can definitely just ship that stuff in. That's fine, no problem. Can even use the same unloader, so no problem. This one, 33 tons of coal. Yeah, that's fine, and we can do that. But again, here, maximum production per workday, 375. That's 10 times as much that you have to ship in every time. That is effectively running at 100% a full train. Even the longer trains, which I can only have a train that's as long as the station right now. There's a coal train. 648. I'm sure you have some modded wagons that are a little better than that, but this is what we have. This is what we have available, and yeah, you can run for 2 days. If you have 2 steel mills running at half speed, which is what I have very often, you can run for 2 days. Just think about that. If you translate that to iron, that is 3 to 4 days. That's a big difference. So yeah, coal should always go next to your steel mills. Otherwise, you have to make sure that you have a network that can handle the train traffic that you need to introduce to make it work. Important. This one, I think it's just cute and it works well. And even with the distribution office, it seems to work really well. I do realize that I don't have enough people right now to actually make a difference here, but it works, and I like it. I think it's good. So that's all fine. I really, really like this setup. I wish I could have used it. And honestly, when you set this up, you should put a dry dock right next to it and start building ships, or just purchase a couple ships, because right now, the mistake that I made is that all this material is just sitting here. There's no reason why I can't have at least one ship, one aggregate loader to move. Just all they had to do is would come in, and I would say load. I don't care what they load, just load. Without saying wait until loaded, and they can load, and when they come back and there's still stuff in the same storage, they probably take the same one. But eventually they will get to a point where the storage is empty and they can start taking the next stuff. That would be cool. You can also just set it to 4 separate runs, and the first run I take A, the second run I take B, then C, and then D. And then when I come back, there should be enough more stuff stored in the initial aggregate storage. That would be cool. That would make a lot of money, or it should make a lot of money, and it's a really good way to export your excess aggregates. But yeah, there's that. Kind of like this. Obviously, Textiles is not making bank right now, but the way it's set up, I actually gave myself enough space to do things. I actually gave myself enough resources to make these work, and all of them are working just fine. We have some chemicals going in here, yada, yada, yada. So they're doing what they're supposed to do. I don't have a big problem in this area at all. I actually like that I have the train platform out here that's all in walking distance of the things. I do have the cheater platform right here, but we could also use it for a secondary train that doesn't stop out here. So that's helpful. That's nice. Airport. Obviously, it's just a light load. We have some tourists coming in that like us, and it's working. I don't think there's anything special that goes on here. I do like this building and the terminal and how you can connect the different train parking spots. I think that looks pretty cool. So I would do that again. The cargo terminal, I would like it bigger. The cargo terminal building wasn't big enough. I think the way I built it here is a little better, but it still looks like a tiny, tiny airport. I would want to make that bigger next time. Okay, what are you guys doing? You go there. You go there. I wonder. Oh yeah, you're just following him. That's a little weird. Control tower. You should figure that out. Yep, now you're there, and the bigger one's just gonna park there, and then you're gonna go out. It feels like they've been using just this takeoff strip. I haven't seen many other ones, and over here they've been using them to land, which is probably fine, but it would be nice if it was a little different. But that's okay. Over here, yeah, this city. What's going on in this city? There's a lot of stuff. I'd probably say this setup is okay, but it's not great. It's okay though, but not great. You do need it. You do need it. I don't know that I needed two lines going for each of them, but it's working. It's functional. We'll do it again. Definitely want to have the fuel right next to it. Construction offices here were super necessary to make anything work, so that makes sense. But now let's go to the city. This part of the city that you see, I think, is working pretty well. I think overall it does everything that it needs to do. The only problem is this store is not big enough for this size of the city. This is maybe, it's all vanilla, mostly vanilla. This one is vanilla, but 100 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Let's say 20, it's like 2,000 people in this range. That is borderline the right number for the shopping center. But because I have a train platform right next to it, knowing that I will plan to make this a relatively large city, that notion goes out the window. This should have been a large shopping center from the beginning, which is why this is a large shopping center. I'm trying to figure out where all the shoppers are when I click on these, but that's fine. There they are, all of them. Cool. Yeah, so it's kind of working, but it's not working great. If this one was a bigger shopping center, that would have helped. But it's not the end of the world, but it's not great either, so it's somewhere in between there. Just keep that in mind. I did like this expansion until I realized that these buildings really are just humongous problem magnets. I do realize a lot of you have commented that the mods themselves weren't the problem. They amplified the problem. You're absolutely correct. Did amplify the problem that I had, which really just came down to I didn't worry about sizing too much. I just was like, oh, this looks pretty, let's plop that in there. I do think at this point the city is working the way it is with all the extra buses. See? All the extra buses, all the extra stations, all the lines, the internal train ride, having 2 stations that are effectively covering most of the city. There are a lot of reasons why it's working, but it could have been done a lot easier and probably a lot prettier. Just the way it is here is a lot of afterthoughts. If I would have done it right the first time, I think I would have saved myself a lot more people, citizens, just in general. And yeah, otherwise, the city itself, it's not bad. I could have made this one city, and then made this one city that are really close to each other, I think that would have worked. They don't have to be connected, but I can have them connected. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. I don't hate this city. I actually really like how it looks, but a little more thought would have gone a long way to making sure that a lot more stuff is provided to everyone. Now I can still do that, but I would have to tear down some buildings, and I don't know, at this point it's not worth it to me. And that's buying construction offices. Yep, they're there. We're really not doing anything with them right now, so that's fine. What else is going on? Well, starting in 1945, worth it? No. No, hard no. For me, on a YouTube series, it's a hard no because everything took longer. So every time I wanted to record the next episode, it just took a lot longer to get to that point. There's always a long waiting phase in the beginning. But horses just dragged that out so much more. So I got out of the horse stage so fast that I was really only in that for what, 2 episodes, if that. Was that worth it? No. Because everything was slower, everything was also smaller, so you started with a really small population. Here's the thing. Start with whatever population you feel comfortable with. But the smaller it is, the slower everything moves. So if you start with 1,000 or 2,000, I would consider that a large start. But if you have the money, if you have the resources, if you can actually make that work, then why not? I think it lets you progress a lot faster. If you start with the absolute minimum, which I think we were at 200 or 300, probably close to 300. Let's see how this is. All. We started at 500-ish? I thought we were lower than that. Oh, May 1945, 500 people. So apparently we started with 500 in this area. That actually feels relatively high to me, but it slowed everything else down. And if you want to play on the hard settings, you have to make sure that you don't lose anyone. You need to keep everyone happy. You need to keep everyone healthy. You need to keep everyone loyal. You need to keep everyone... There's a lot of things that go into that. You have to make sure that all of that is met so that your people can actually help you grow your republic. That includes prison. This thing is broken right now. Well, not quite broken yet, but that includes prison. But you have to make sure that these numbers go in the direction that you want them to go. It reduces crime right now a lot, which is the main number. It will do that as long as you have loyal guards and a ratio that's less than 1 to 2. We're still less than 1 to 2, but we're getting to the ratio of 1 to 2. 1 to 3 is the one where you're definitely not going to make any positive impact on your prisoners. And that's what I had in the beginning, and I lost a lot of people to that, and population just wouldn't grow. And it was hidden because most of the people went to the village over there, and that's where a lot of people got killed. Ran away, I think is a better word. This is fine. I think the heating plants are a little too far away. Looking at that, it was earlier, 500 meters seemed to be enough. We'll definitely agree with that. Also health. Yeah, health is okay, but I think more problems of the health come from the food availability than anything else. But food availability, but also because it gets too cold in the winter. So having the heating plants this far away actually reduces the efficiency of the pipes, and then your heat storage does not go up to the actual number that you see. There's a difference. This one is clearly over 90, and that one's already below 90. That's what's going to make a real difference. And then you have your maximum drain that also, well, plays into that you have to make sure that you try to keep it at 100%, especially if you want to play on hard reactions. Once you get to the maximum or over the maximum, you're probably going to lose some people every winter, just on a few days. And that will compound to, well, too much. I'm making some money right now, which reminds me of the next problem. Electronics. How much do we spend in electronics today, B-Ball Joe? Oh, let's see. Imports last month, Soviet bloc, electronics. Only need 18 tons. It is by far my biggest, 6 times bigger than the next biggest importer. And the next biggest importer is meat, which effectively for 80 tons I pay nothing. That's almost nothing. Electronics are the beefy one. Why is that beefy? Well, so I imported 133,000 last month. How much did I export last month? Soviet bloc. I exported 218. So I I'm barely scraping ahead of the need of electronics with my whole GDP, with my whole production. It's not GDP, right? This just the products that I'm exporting. You can probably optimize the export just a little bit, but not a lot. So 218 is what I exported, and 177 is what I import. So we're just scraping ahead of that. It's not terrible, but electronics get more and more expensive every year that you do something with it. So you have to make sure of that. Again, 2 million. And this is now billions, right? This is times 1,000 because I already changed that once. Also, don't do that. Don't change your numbers unless you're actually in the billions. I did it when I was in the millions, somewhere in that range, and that's just weird. Didn't do well, but 1.9 million. Just want to look at my economy and trade for actually last year is probably a better indicator. So about 3 million was our import last year, and our export last year was less. So there you go. I actually thought I was doing really well with what I needed, but overall, not great. And it also looks like, oh yeah, this is all export. Okay. Also wonder if there's some things that just haven't optimized and set up and spend the time on making sure that we can get things replaced with internal imports like fuel. Why am I importing fuel? Who's importing fuel? Why was there fuel imported? I have no idea. We have more than enough fuel, so somewhere I have a leak and this is expensive. Gravel, same thing. Meat, yeah, we're not producing it. Alcohol, we're not producing. Concrete, electronics, food. We shouldn't be importing food. There should be help there. Prefab panels, same thing. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that can be optimized a little bit, and I think if you want to play on hard, again, you have to pay attention to this and actually eliminate all your imports before you expand more, because it will just keep costing you money. Cool. Now that I'm done babbling on with all that, it looks like our fixes are actually finally working, and we are making some money, and we are seeing some food in here. Very good. Very nice. Our population is growing. Very nice. Cool. These numbers are slowly going down, but not as far as I would have expected them to, so that's actually really good. I think our limiting factor is oil production, not the oil export or the oil production from our refinery. Yep, we don't have enough oil to actually make this move. There's that. Is there anything else that I need to talk to you about? Yeah, Season 5 is happening. I don't know if I take a couple weeks off or if we continue right away. If I do take weeks off from a season, there will be more reviews. No question about that. But I don't know yet. I don't know what map I'm going to choose, because it will be Cosmonaut mode, which has a bunch of new rules and a bunch of new complications. By the time I start it, you may already have access to it, so look forward to that. I don't recommend playing Cosmonaut mode completely without mods, especially in the beginning, but I may try that anyways. But yeah, next season, we're going to learn from all the things that are different, or all the things that I made terrible choices on, just to see how it's done for real. And we'll see how that goes. But for now, thank you so much for watching Season 5. Again, Patreons and YouTube members will get this save. And yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking through the season with me. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.